All right. How are we all doing? We doing good? Great, even? Levels. I should probably check that. It's an odd position, but okay. All right. Man, but better to be relaxing here and now. Well, I'm glad to hear that I am relaxing. And I'm not insanely hyped up on wah energy right now. Which I may be. Camera's doing wonky things. Hang on. Sweet. Get a couple more in here and then do the grand reveal. I haven't even opened the package yet. It just came in today. Totally blind. I'm holding it down here. I'm not going to look at it. I've only seen it on Amazon. All right. See how many we can get in here first. Definitely not bring Y energy, but glad to see you excited. I don't have any energy at all right now. Because I've worked my butt off all day long in like 70% humidity and 80 plus degrees. Felt like 100. Trying to convince myself, purchase the light and a few other things. Well, I may be a bad influence. Because I'd be like, you should just do it. But don't listen to me for financial advice. Because I dump everything into Warhammer. Alright. Need to make sure the light's just right. I've got a bunch of basing bits over here from when I was basing the Deathwatch boys. Oh, hi. You're here. Alright. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's nice. So clean. These are the old ones, for the record. That's what Maladus told me to get, so that's what I got. So now we can truly wall. Let's examine the box, because I haven't looked at it at all. I could live with you. I don't have to be that excited. Okay. So we got our... I gotta double check my list. I put these guys in a list because I'm writing lore for a WA of my own. Jinx. You jinxed her. That means you have to up your Patreon and buy her a drink. I do appreciate that they're all painted differently. I've been doing an obscene amount of research on how orc clans go into warbands, and warbands go into tribes, and tribes go into walls, and yeah. So. But Maladus said that these are more posable. There's more variety to them than the new ones, because the new ones, I guess, are pretty fixed. And I may get some of the new ones after this, but we'll see. He has a ring to save up. That's true. Unless he buys a bunch of streaming stuff. And then that'll change. Alright. I'm excited for this. So these guys, for the lore I'm writing, are going to be a part of Wa Vogadag, which is the warlord I'm making. Oh, yes. Nothing like opening a new box of Warhammer. Paint it purple. So I could do that. I'm not going to. Simply because I don't want my orcs to disappear. If you know, you know. Nice transfers. So I've really taken a liking to the Death Skulls in all my research. Yeah, purple orcs are stealthy. Precisely. So this squad, I think I'm going to make them all Death Skulls. But since they're part of a Wa, Was can be of all clans because they're multiple warbands and tribes that are all brought together. But these guys in particular are going to be Death Skulls. And my Warlord is going to be a Death Skull as well. That's the goal. Let's see what we're playing with here. So they're assembled a lot like Firstborn Marines, which I am okay with. And I'm sure you guys saw the short, but the Tannine Crusade and the Terminus Knights, the guy on my most recent short is one of their captains. So he will be one of the ones relentlessly fighting these guys. I do try to be dope every once in a while. Most of the time unsuccessfully. Don't mind my chewing. I'm still trying to eat. There are a lot of head options. Trophies. And this box comes with 11 orcs. To me, that is insane. Because with most Space Marine boxes, you're lucky to get 10. Pull up my list here so I can remember what I was making. What's for snack? Sonic. That was the go-to. So I don't know... Well, I do know. These sculpts came from 2007. So that... When did Dawn of War 2 come out? Was that around that time? Haven't had Sonic in like 8 years. That is a sad life to live. Okay, I take that back. Sonic is only good part of the time. It has ups and downs. It depends on what you get. So, pull up my list. As my list freaks out. So we're gonna have the boss knob, who's gonna have the power claw because it's a power claw. And then we're gonna do 4 boys with shootas, and then 5 boys with a slugga and a choppa. And then I will try to figure out if I want a boy with a big shooter or a rocket launcher. I'm not sure on that yet. For the record, I'm not interested in the meta. I don't care what's good and what's bad. I just want to make it look cool. So where do we start? That is the question. See a lot of legs. Yeah, I noticed because it's an older kit, the plastic is much lower quality. Is that a skull? Oh, it is. That's an orc skull. Nice. Oh, and there's basing bits too? That is sweet. What the heck, GW? You don't give us basing bits anymore? Unless it's part of, like, the trophies box? Alright. Guess we start with the boss knob. Actually, let's just get all the torsos and legs. Are there 11 of those? Whoa! Sorry if I clipped. I definitely clipped. That was necessary. Maladus, you were right. This kit is incredible. I got the old one. I may get the new one after this. We'll see. I kind of want to go ahead and build my war boss, who will be my warlord subsequently. I only join these for my friends. Well, these guys have become my friends. Since, you know, you won't listen to my 40k shenanigans. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we have body options. I'm assuming the biggest one is going to be the boss knob, which is this one here, because that's how that works. And I am okay with that. Definitely a bit goofy looking, but the customization is unbeatable compared to modern kits. That's what I'm seeing. I really don't care about the goofy looking. Like, I appreciate the Dawn of War aesthetic of the orcs. Like, I don't think it looks that bad. Are there any particular legs we have to put on him? Oh, they don't number their parts. So you just kind of got to figure it out. Interesting. Okay. Are there any legs that are the biggest? Sorry, there's probably going to be a lot of orc impressions coming up. How am I planning on building these guys? So, I was telling them, I'm not super interested in the meta. Like what's good and what's not. I'm more interested in just making them my own. So, I'm already writing lore for a WA. But I'm going to do the Boss Knob with Power Claw and Slugga. And then 4 boys with Shootas. And then 5 boys with Slugga and Choppa. And then 1 boy, I don't know if I want to do the big Shoota or the rocket launcher yet. So that is TBD. But once they're all built, my goal is to paint them as Death Skulls. Because I kind of like Death Skulls. And I'm going to make my Warlord a Death Skull. So. Alright, find the biggest legs. I doubt it matters. Oh, wait. Those look the biggest. Yep, those are definitely the biggest. And that would make the most sense because they're right next to each other. What, GW actually making kits that are intuitive? What is this madness? The plastic is definitely much lower quality, but I think it's a worthy sacrifice. And then, is there a particular Boss Knob head I have to use? Or can it be any of them? And there's going to be a lot of pieces left over for conversions and kit bashing. I kind of want to do the big horns, but I also kind of want the Sonic Eye. Just cuz. Orcs of the chat, what did I miss? Did I say something? I probably said something. Hi, Jacob. We's doing some orc stuffs. Precisely. These are my very first orcs ever. So I'm trying to figure it out. But it's orcs, so you can't really figure it out. Okay. So all the heads are the same size, so it really doesn't matter. So long as one is the biggest and the baddest. My voice is going to be so dead by the end of this stream. Good old green skins. Yep, they're my very first Xenos, actually. If I were to do another Xenos army, it would be Tau. Any others can go die in a hole. Is that brutal? I feel like that's forgivable. Brutal but cunning. Or cunning but brutal. That is the question. I like this giant choppa too. It's not a big choppa. It's just a choppa that happens to be bigger than all the other choppas. Go ahead and cut out the power claw. I wonder, is this older plastic harder to clean up? He has the double barrel. It's a double barrel slugger. Are we not counting the Necrons? No, we are not. I refuse to acknowledge those. I have Tyranids too, but I don't acknowledge those either. I am more than willing to get rid of them. That is a big chopper. Okay. And the scope on the slugger. I saw the scope. Where was it? Am I blind? Oh, it's right here. The connection points aren't in very good spots, I notice. Planning on doing Cheese Stealer Cults as my 5th army, but I want to get another army to 2k points before that. That's fair. Would that be orcs for you? You said you had 5. Alright. I have to pick between this one and this one. This one looks a little more Death Skullsy. Back accessories are awesome. And I think I'm going to do all the bases separate again, because I have an idea of what kind of bases I want to do. If anyone saw my short that I posted the other day, it's going to be a very similar base to that. Because that is Captain Yavitz of the Terminus Knights, who are on the Tannine Crusade, which is going to be against these orcs. Alright. Let's clean these up. As clean as orcs can be. It's nice because just like Nurgle units, these guys don't have to be perfect. Unless I was doing, like, snake bites. Or not snake bites. Blood axes. I don't know, I have a lot of both orcs and CSM. My CSM are more recent, but they cost so many points that they'll get to 2k first. That is true. My Fervent Storm is already at, like, 1,600 points. Oh, sorry, almost 1,400 points. And that's mostly because I have Abaddon and 15 Terminators. That's where a lot of those points came from. How's everybody doing in the chat? Anybody working on any projects right now? Or you're just watching me fanboy over the orcs? That'll do it, yeah. Yeah, it's not a ton of models. And I also have a squad of Havocs, a squad of Possessed, a Warpsmith, and 2 5-mans of Legionnaires. So yeah, it's a lot of points that adds up pretty quick. Chipping away at my Land Raider Crusader. Very nice. If anyone has any models they'd like to show off, feel free to go to the Discord. We have a lot of sweet, sweet works that go on in there. Fun conversations about lore, hobby. It's a good time. Good time. Oh, I just saw your link, Rushtiv. Uh-oh. I've been clipped. Thanks for that. If you want to say that Rushtiv is blackmailing me. Or collecting blackmail material, I should say. Go to the Discord. Yeah. This older plastic doesn't cut up or clean up as well. I'm really surprised that they had these orc models for this, or for that long. Because the sprue says 2007. Cover up with primer. These muscly bits are like my world eaters. They were hard to clean up. All the flesh, it had to be absolutely perfect. Sand these down. I keep having to remind myself that it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, let's put this boy together. Start with the slugger. trying blackmail. Just trying to show the world what to expect. Well, that may be good or bad. Oh boy, that is a terrible connection. I noticed the mold lines are a lot worse too. Okay, let that dry for a minute. And don't worry, there's plenty of blackmail material of me out in the world. It does exist. Okay. Really a fantastic fit for these legs, but we can make it work. Drill these barrels out first. What edition did these come out in? In 2007. Okay. Only during 4th. And what year did Dawn of War come out? Because wasn't that like a defining factor for a lot of visuals in the setting? Outside of White Dwarf and all that. 2004. So they did anything. Dawn of War looked a lot like the tabletop at the time. That's kind of what I thought. But I still claim to be a 40k noob. Despite being a religious zealot of the setting. Alright. There is our boss knob. Sweet. Probably can't stand up on his own. Nope. Okay. Alright, who's next? Do we do the boys with shooters or the boys with sluggers and choppers? Let's do the boys with sluggers and choppers. I feel like they're a little more vital. Now, I was going to ask, what are these clubs here that look like grenades? Are those considered choppers? Because I am slightly clueless. Guess I can just batch these, couldn't I? Stick bombs? Is that only choppers if you're a particularly brave boy? Well, aren't most boys pretty brave? I feel like that's par for the course. Stick bombs. That tracks. I thought they were explosive. But I didn't see anything on their sheet for them. Or grenades. Nah, they're cunning. I don't know, I'm feeling pretty brutal. Feeling a lot of pent-up wah energy. All factions lost their special nades. They just have grenade keyword now. Do they have the grenade keyword? Oh, they do. Oh, okay. So they can toss nades. Asking me for birthday gift ideas. What kit should I ask for? Well, you're working on Militarum, right? What's your collection look like? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What does it look like? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, if I had extra legs, I could make more boys. Because there's so many extra bits. Oh, I just now realized that these are the same sprue. Cool. I can make the rocket. Yeah, the rocket with this one. I need more legs. I think you only get 10 boys plus knob. Nice, since it gives you one extra at least. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think I counted 13 torsos. But there's only 11 legs. And I'm counting the torsos for the big shooter and the rocket launcher. I appreciate the Orc Skull trophy too. And the basing bits. What the heck, GW? Why don't we get basing bits anymore? Two more Dorns, 5 squads of Cadians, 3 squads of Scions, 2 more Casterkin, Tech Priest, Commissar, and Castellan. Current inventory, Kit. 1 Cadian command squad, 2 Sentinels, 1 Casterkin, and 1 Dorn. First one vote is Casterkin, since I think they're neat. You could use some regular infantry from the sounds of it. Yeah, you could use some infantry, especially... I mean, for your homebrew, I feel like that would make a little more sense to give them some more character to them rather than just their vehicles. That's just my unprofessional opinion, though. Take it with a grain of salt. How many choppers do we have? 4. Oh, 5. The sluggers. Chop these out. The fact that the majority of these bits are only connected at 2 points is wonderful. You don't have to worry about breaking anything because you cut something and then you bend it. because it's still connected at a different point. What I'll do is send her my entire list and then let her choose. It's a surprise for me. She can influence, build, paint you a little. I wish that worked for me. I try sending my list and then I just get a, you buy what you want. Not that I'm arguing, but it makes the decision making a little more difficult for me. Because my list is extensive. Because I have orcs and CSM and loyalists and pretty sure there's some guard on there too. Probably, definitely going to want to get into some vehicles. I don't even know if she's here anymore. Where those bits go? You just put them anywhere? Sick. There's so much variety here. It's insane. No, what I should do is I should send my list to RainCloud and then make him pick. He would just want me to get more orcs, though. Which at this rate wouldn't be a bad thing. If I want an equal force of orcs to Terminus Knights... Let's see. How many points of Terminus Knights do I have? I have 680 points of Terminus Knights. I think I can achieve that pretty reasonably. Because I already have 170 points here. If I were to ever make a narrative battle. Which I would like to do at some point. In the future. Is that a bayonet? And is that for a shooter? For a slug? Does it not matter? Must not matter. And you can just put these bits wherever you want. It's great. I'll influence RainCloud to choose some Cavalite warriors. I might have to remove you from a few things. And what's worse is he doesn't even know what those are. So he would fall for it. Look up the Battle Force 2023 box of Astra Militarum. It has 1/3 of my army in one box. Yeah, what really helped me boost my Sons of Sorrow is I got the old Blood Angels box. And I gave some of the models to the Terminus Knights, but I gave the majority of them to the Sons of Sorrow. That helped a lot. We'll get all the models built before we decide bits. Any more heads on here that I missed? Or there's several. Some of those old battle forces were crazy. Also, rumors are Marines versus Orcs in a year for 11th. I heard that. I mean, Marines are a given. But I did hear that Orcs were going to be the big bad. Because apparently, after the Cicatrix Maledictum opened up, WoW's like exploded. And we haven't heard from Gaskell for a while since... Wait, when was the fourth war? Was that recent? My timelines are jumbling up. Not really a huge fan of the fur helmet. But I may go with it anyway, just cause. And these guys showed up today. So in preparation for them not being here, I base coded one of my Death Watch this morning. So he's ready to go. Maybe I'll get him done this weekend. Interesting. Okay. Alright, we'll set this aside. We'll look at the bits in a second. Yeah, let me take this one out. Replace it. Or replace the fur helmet, because I'm not a fan. Which means we'll probably have to bring out the top knot for the other one. I'm not a huge fan of top knots either. That's why I don't really like Luna Wolves a whole lot. Aesthetically, I love the characters of the Luna Wolves. Don't get me wrong. Like, Garvio Loken's awesome. But he also doesn't have a top knot. That may have just been more of an Abaddon thing. Alright, we're just going to throw a bunch of these boys together. I don't think it really matters. These don't have to be pretty either, because they're out of sight. You can definitely tell they were trying to make them more ape-like. It's gonna get covered up. But, talking about 11th, how are they going to resolve 10th? Like, are they just going to leave it hanging? That, like, nothing is happening? Or nothing has changed? I feel like they would do that. Everyone dies and the Great Devourer eats all of it. So that's almost how it would have to be resolved. But then you get into end times stuff, and nobody wants that. I certainly don't. All right. Also, for anyone curious, not that you would be, because I don't typically upload actual content, but I have 3 videos that I'm working on simultaneously right now. I can't promise when they will go up, but they are actively being worked on. Just so everyone is aware. Also, if you'd like to support said videos, you can find me on Patreon at faithplant104, or you can find the link to that in the description. If you help me financially, it will make my life a lot simpler. That way I can keep producing subpar content that people watch for some reason. But then they also don't. I did notice that our Hell's Reach reaction finally stopped getting views. Stopped getting active views. Which is fine, because it's been out for like 2 months now. It got way more attention than I ever expected. And then, not my last short, but the short before of my incursors that I finished, got a record number of views for the channel for shorts. So I'm kind of proud of that. And then the next one kind of flopped. Still trying to figure out if that was poor timing on my part, like uploading it at the wrong time, or what. Because some of them perform really well, and then some of them don't perform well at all. Shape that down a little bit. I don't know why I'm attacking this mold line in particular. Because I really don't need to. Mold lines don't bother me like they do some people. I used to post to some Facebook groups all the time, and everything was drill your barrels, fix your mold lines. I did start drilling my barrels, which, yeah. But mold lines, they just didn't bother me. Also, okay, I really need to look at the size comparison of the chainsword. Pull out one of my Sons of Sorrow. That is hilarious. I find a lot of comedy in that. It's not focusing. Focus. I love that. It's just funny. What am I talking about? Orcs are funny. Orcs are built on comedy. The boy in his chose sword alone. I'm not hating on it. Imagine if Marines had chainswords that looked like that. I also appreciate the fact that it... Excuse me. I appreciate the fact that it has a muffler on it. Because that does something. Which brings me to a particular point. Talking about chainswords. And the sounds they make. Raincloud and I have had this conversation several times. But whenever you see a chainsword portrayed in any media, they just slap a two-stroke chainsaw effect over the top of it. But when I think of a chain sword, I feel like the motor would have a lot more power than a two-stroke motor. I feel like it needs to be deeper and throatier. So almost like a four-stroke. That's just my opinion. So every time I see a chainsword in media, I always listen to it first. And 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't sound right. And it kind of irks me a little bit. Because they have way more power than a two-stroke chainsaw. Sorry. I'm a little passionate about it. Nothing. It's the wrong kind of stream. Spiritually 12 years old. Join the club. The most dangerous conversations happen in private Discord servers. Let's just say that. Also, if you listen to the Laying Down the Lore cast, uh, those guys can make anything an innuendo, and it's hilarious. It should sound like a Harley on a stick. Precisely. If I were to ever animate anything or make an audio drama, which I would love to do, I would love to make an audio drama, like a 40K audio drama, because the 40K audio dramas that exist in the Black Library, in my opinion, they suck. Their Foley work and sound design just take me right out of it. I listened to one recently. I can't remember what it was called, but it was the Relictors, and they had captured a Plague Marine. I think he was with the Death Guard. But the footsteps sounded like just average, like steel toe boots on metal floor. They didn't have the thud of power armor. And the voice actors they got didn't really sound like Marines either. They were just kind of posh Brit boys. No offense to any of my British viewers, but those guys, I don't know. I didn't really vibe with them. And I'm an audio guy, so I'm very passionate about sound. Those things matter to me. I consider myself an audiophile in most cases. And it kind of gets me in trouble sometimes if I tell someone that something sounds like crap. Because then usually I get told to leave. Free of rivet painting hell? Glory be! I don't paint my rivets. I just let the wash do the work to kind of darken the area around them, and then I just leave them the color that they are. My mic is a Rode podcaster. Oh, I'm an audiophile. I bought a pair of Biodynamic DT1700 Pros. Magic DAC amp. Yeah. The Rode podcaster, though, is a really good mic. I'm running an Audio Technica. I don't know the exact number. It's so old. I'm gonna take it out of its stand. But I'm kind of partial to Audio Technica. I have Audio Technica headphones and mic. The headphones are about due for an upgrade, though. They're about... See, I got them in 2018. So yeah, they're ready to be switched out. All right. Let's glue these boys, and then we'll throw some bits on them. That's a thing we can do. Also, there's a chain of shells here. Does it go anywhere? Or is it supposed to go anywhere? Can I just use it? Oh, it goes on one of the... It goes on the big shooter. Mic sounds fantastic. Definitely have your mixing settings right. It was through a lot of trial and error. Let me tell you. I was actually, so the next video that will be coming out soon-ish, my audio sounds absolutely fantastic. I've never gotten it to sound that way. And then I went back and I listened to another video that I recorded the dialogue for, and it sounded terrible. So I got to go through and re-record all that, because there's no way I'm going to get that mixed just right. And it's going to bug me. All right. Boy number 1. This is the lunging one. I feel like the lunging one needs the chainsword. Oh wait, these are for different sides. Interesting. So orcs are canonically ambidextrous. What software do you use to mix? I have an interface. It's a Scarlett 2i2, and there's no actual mixing. So all of the EQ that you hear, that's natural from the mic. The only thing I have in the interface, I just have the gain adjusted. I also have the AIR hit, which should theoretically restrict some things, so it's not getting a lot of overwhelming frequencies. But when I'm doing audio for videos and stuff, I just go through Audacity because it's free. And I do actually. I have mixing capabilities on Streamlabs too, which I'm streaming through, and I do have some of that adjusted, but I don't have any EQ or anything. Experience in the auto world. Dipping my toes as an electrical engineer. Yeah, that's something that really surprised me whenever I started getting into audio stuff, was that everything is just electrical signals. I never knew how it worked before. I still don't totally know how it works, because I'm not an electric guy. Raincloud's an electric guy, and he will tell you that he's an electric guy. But I am not. Let's see how this jaw works. Where'd it go? Just don't remember how many I have. I think I only have one. There it is. We may save that for the special weapon guy. Frequency modulation, signal processing, rectifiers, amplifiers, all just electrical doohickey and mobbers. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And I've been around it forever too, because I'm a musician. It's kind of hard to avoid whenever you have been in the circles that I have been in. Studying it and barely understanding it. That's how I felt when I started out learning Warhammer lore. But I loved it so much that I just dedicated everything to it, and now I consume Warhammer every single day. And that's not a joke. Every single day. Okay, that's one. Pretty much all of them are just weapon raised. None of them are weapons ready, they're just weapons going. I try and consume it every day. I read at least. I've been watching a lot of Fallout lore recently. Got clotheslined with my Fallout obsession again. I've kind of been in the same boat. Who is your favorite Fallout lore tuber? Because I've been considering playing Fallout again. Because I haven't for a while. I've done an insane amount of playthroughs of Fallout 3. Fallout 4. I've never actually finished it. I've started like 2 or 3 playthroughs of it. Then I got kind of bored. And Fallout New Vegas, I've never actually finished a playthrough of it either. But I've started it. And I think I've got it on my Steam right now, so I could theoretically be playing it right now. Which brings me to a point. Something I wanted to discuss with those of you watching. If I were to ever do any gaming streams, I don't really want them on my YouTube because my algorithm is pretty set right now in 40K stuff. Particularly with modeling. Hopefully that'll be expanding to other things 40K related at this point. But if I were to do any gaming streams, do you guys think it would be a good idea just to do them on Twitch? Not that it'll get an insane viewership, because that's not what I'm looking for, but if I were to do it. Because then I could just play pretty much anything. What do you think? Transfer just randomly fell off my sponson? What? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Just speculation. Look at this arm. And yeah, I feel you with the reading thing too, Rushtiv. I generally don't have a lot of time to read, so I have to consume all of my information audibly at work because I wear headphones at work. And usually I have the energy to read maybe 2 or 3 pages before bed sometimes. That's why it's taken me so long to get through the Night Lords trilogy. Like, it's a great book. They all are. I just don't have the energy. It sucks because I want to get through them really, really bad. Alright, so we've got 2 left choppas. Wait a minute, that's not right. But, I'm destroying things. Everything's fine. Everything's on fire, but it's fine. Brotherhood of Steel is my favorite from an aesthetic perspective. From a lore story perspective, I think the Minutemen from 4 are cool. I would watch gaming streams, but I can't speak to how it would affect the views and stuff. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about the views. I think it would just be something fun to do that doesn't have to necessarily be 40k based. Like, I could play Baldur's Gate 3. I play it all the time. And it wouldn't really affect anything on my YouTube. Just love power armor. Fair. Very, very fair. How's your Salamander successor coming along? Have you done any work on them? I'd be down to watch those streams. Okay. I don't know if and when they will ever happen, but if I do ever get the opportunity where I'm not painting or modeling or working on other videos, then that may be an option. So there will likely be no forewarning. Not really, to be honest. Life has been busy, rough recently, so hobbying hasn't been top priority. You're minding me, gave me something to do in the next week or two. Spit off some ideas? Sure, go for it. This is the place to do it. Like if you've got a founding, a reason for their founding. Speaking of homebrew, what's the cutoff for the submission on my old Google Drive lore of the Miracle? I believe I said July 25th is going to be the cutoff. Pretty sure that's what I said. I haven't gotten any responses yet, so I don't know how interested people are. But yeah, if you submit something, and then Rushtiv, if you're okay with it, we can bring up the Escalons too, because they're really, really good. I was reading it again earlier whenever I messaged you. So I'm thinking 13th founding, the Dark Founding, or mysterious and unknown one leads to better lore development. That is accurate. Especially if they are a salamander successor, because those are very few and far between. Would be down for the Escalants featured. Sweet. And it probably won't be a huge deal since it's just a live stream. And not an actual video. I could do an actual video though. That would be more editing work though, and I have a ton of that in front of me. So we may not do that this time, but it would definitely be something on stream. Let's see. Let's give this boy not the horns, apparently. These are going to be very interesting to paint. And they're small, so they should be easy to paint, right? Do they have any, like, particular goals? The Dark Founding, let's see, when was that? Was that 33 or 34? Or am I totally wrong? Millennium, I mean. I really can't remember. I think this dude is gonna have his ready. I need to clean up that helmet. Why didn't I do that? A doig? Say they aren't certain of their gene seed, but they follow salamander tradition. Don't have the dark skin of Vulcan or the salamanders, however, they maintain the red eyes. Interesting. (1536th millennium. Oh, 35th. That would track. So if they don't have the dark skin, then that means they don't have what's the organ that changes their melanin to protect against solar radiation? I don't remember which organ that is exactly. You have 22 if they have any Primaris. All right. There's our first 6 boys. I want to put some stuff on them. Because we have stuff. And then because I have to have stuff to paint blue. Let's see, the bayonets for the shooter. The mag. Where does the mag go? Pride themselves in their humanity and their willingness to sacrifice for those who are lesser without consideration. It's very salamanders-y of them. What if they're like a mixture of salamanders and Raven Guard? Because that would justify their skin being paler than salamanders. Maybe. Something along those lines. So they would still be able to maintain the salamander's good guy thing. But then also be able to explain away the not dark skin. In the meta. If they don't know, then that's a little different. I think Blood Angel's Salamander's connection could be cool. It could be. Have you thought of a name yet? Because names are blossoming in my head that have to do with both blood and fire. So these just go on? Doesn't matter which side. Haven't determined the name yet, but wanted their nickname to be Tabs Legion. From my mom taught me about everything I know about being humble and kind. Well, there you go. I mean, you could do what I do, and, well, kind of what I did, and them just be the sons of so-and-so. I know a lot of chapters, like the Sons of Antaeus. That's one. They just slap it on. That doesn't really matter because orcs will have an official Legion name. That'll be what I call them behind the scenes. Fair enough. There's one. I didn't use any of these bits on any boy. Just start with the ones on this sprue and then go from there. I'm going to use them all. Because why not? They're there. Salamanders, Dark Angels is what I'll do. That's an idea. Dark Angels are known for being humble, as they don't like admiration or flattery. Yeah, they also don't like being noticed. For various other reasons, but yeah. What is their combat doctrine? What do they excel in warfare? Space Marines be vigilantes. So they're a renegade? Because if we're talking renegades, they don't get resupplies from the Imperium. Really maneuverable, light, utilizing jump packs and such. Very much Vanguard type. Okay. So, I'm trying to think. Does that mean they're into like shock assaults? Because like, so, going back to the Sons of Sorrow, they are melee masters, so they are swordsmen. But they are also Counter-Strike masters. So they do not strike unless they are being struck first. So their tactics often rely on the enemy striking first. Instead of going strictly on defensive, they go on offensive whenever an opening opens up. Not renegade, more like they fight and save innocent but don't stick around for the praise. Okay. So they're not glory hounds. The bullet belt is supposed to go. Guess it's the same concept. They could just go anywhere. Let's save the bullet belts. I don't know if I'm a fan of those. The bandoliers. It's more commonly referred to as. Alright, time to move on to the next one. All right. This Mega Knob's gonna need a little something different too. Or Boss Knob, not Mega Knob. More of a proactive fighting style, taking advantage of situations when they are best, hitting fast from a lot of different angles. Mix of melee, light range, maybe some heavy. I really like Terminators. Well, Terminators, I mean, they have teleporters, so they could come in from anywhere. I like the size difference. This Boss Knob is just slightly bigger than the rest, just because of his torso, thus making him the Boss Knob. Like, it's not a justifiable amount. You're cooking. But if they're into light, like, what'd you say? Melee, light ranged. So probably a lot of Reavers. And then that brings in the question, how do you tie in your characters? Or do you have any characters yet? Because if they're from an earlier founding, the chapter master would either probably be elected as the chapter is being raised, or he would be brought in from a parent legion. But if they don't know what their parent legion is, then he would probably be raised up as the chapter is being founded. Which typically takes, according to my research, it takes about 60 years for a chapter to be founded and be at full strength. Which also means there would be no first company. Assuming they are the least bit codex compliant. Reavers for sure. Characters not sure. I think I would want some, but no thoughts yet. Well, once you start developing characters, that's when the ball really starts rolling. Because with the Sons of Sorrow, I started with Lieutenant Thamian, and then I gave him a little bit of a pass because he used to be a sergeant, who was also one of the unnumbered sons during the Indominus Crusade. And then he led a squad, and now currently leads a squad, 8th Squad. And that's where Sergeant Daskin has become one of my main characters. So Thamian and Daskin usually have a fairly, not dependent relationship, but they prefer to fight at each other's sides. But a lot of that came from time. Because with them, I knew I really liked the Lamenters. So I wanted to create a Lamenter successor, but I didn't want a carbon copy of the Lamenters to be my successor. So instead of them being sad boys, which their sadness isn't actually their cursed founding trait. Their cursed founding trait is their terrible luck. So I kind of went that direction. And also the fact that they had been paying their gene seed tithes up until that ebb. So there was plenty of gene seed to start a new chapter. Send it on my light and other hobby stuff. Fair enough. Oh wait, I only need 4 shooters. It's fine. I'll have another option. So one of these has to be either the rocket launcher or the big shooter. I'm not sure which one yet. I feel like big shooter just because more DACA. Need at least one win for this week. I feel that. If I had magnets, I could make these interchangeable on the same set of legs, but I don't. Yeah, we'll go with the big shooter because I want to use these basing bits. Wait, is this supposed to be a blast shield with a sight on it? Hang on. If so, where would it fit? Because that's awesome. Now I gotta figure that out. Oh, wait. Does it go on the rocket launcher? What's up, Rain Cloud? Orc building? We are 6 out of 11. And the boys are coming together nicely. I spent all of today and all of yesterday writing my own law. So, yeah. And Rushtiv's Ascallions are actually going to be participating in repelling said law. And right now I'm trying to figure out where the heck this blast shield goes. It looks like a blast shield. But I can't find any shooters that it would fit on. Get them green skins out of my local system. You got it. It has a sight on it, which makes me think that it goes on a gun. It would be funny if I could glue it to a helmet. So there's these boys with helmets. Could I do that? That would be hilarious. Why don't we do that? Oh, yeah. Whoa! I already did that once. I thought I was going to do it more this stream, but it killed my voice the first time. Rushtiv and I have been building his Space Marine chapter. And I've kind of been gushing about how the older models are better. For context, these are the older models. I really have no idea where that goes. Because it looks like it's got a sight on it. Figure it out. I cut these all out. I gotta figure out which one I don't want because I cut out one too many. I like the one with the wraps. I should finish cutting out the big shooter. I can't put the basing bits on it, though, until I get the bases built. That's going to be its own project. We were also talking about you earlier, Raincloud. All good things, all good things. Glad to see the Orc boys are finally joining us. Yeah, I may end up building an army. Because, I mean, at least up to the point, or up to the equal amount of points that I have for the Terminus Knights. Because they're currently crusading against them. Which is, what did I say, 600 and something? $680. Yeah, we were saying that since on special occasions when I get asked for my wish list, and then I send my wish list, and then I just get you just buy what you want. And that takes out the surprise for me. So I just pick what I want. We determined that I'm going to give you my wish list, and then you have to pick. And then give it to Mrs. Faceplant. How many points will this group come to? This is 11 boys. So 10 boys and one 10 boys and one boss knob. It's 170 points for these 11. So looking up how to build Shuda. Pull out that bot too. There are so many bits in this kit, it's insane. I gotta figure out what that shield is. Oh, hey, she is still here. We weren't talking about you. How many hit points does a regular boy get? Let's see. How many wounds does a boy have? This is for 10th edition. This isn't for Kill Team. For Kill Team, I would have to have a whole completely different set of units. I may buy that too. I don't know. One boy has... The boss knob has 2 wounds, and the boys have 1. For context, your basic Space Marine has 2 wounds. Thanks, Melodus. Maladus actually plays the game, in case you couldn't tell. You left and came back. We definitely weren't talking about you. Squishy boys. Yeah, but they're just boys. Wait, does that mean that Grots have... Grots would have one too, right? Because they can't go any lower. And they're significantly less tough. I'm gonna go ahead and... Actually, I'm just gonna put all these bits over here so I don't forget about them. And then a pair of legs. And cut out the shooter. Yeah, doy. Also have some backstory for my faction, but it's in narrative form. Is that alright? Don't really know what format you want the lore submission in. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We can kind of break it down in the stream too. Because, I mean, I have my formats that I have built for all my homebrews. All my marine homebrews. The Deathwatch and the Orcs have been a little bit harder to assemble. Because there's not really, like, a defined arrangement of how things should go. But I probably could copy it over to an extent. But yeah, if it's just narrative, then I'll take it and I can read it. Grots have 1 toughness and 2 no armor. Okay, that makes sense. Orcs are tougher than Space Marines with toughness 5, but less wounds, way less armor. Yeah, so they balance out. I gotta figure out what this thing is. I cannot figure out what it goes to, and it looks cool, and I want it on wherever it goes. That means I have to find where it goes. And I haven't done that yet. It looks like it should go on a Shuda, but there's nowhere for it to fit. We'll go ahead and cut out the heads too. And he should probably have the top knot. I could shave off the top knot, though. I'm going to shave off the top knot. I'm not a huge top knot fan. I already said that. I did the same thing with my Chaos Sword, and I still have the top knot floating around somewhere. Thinking back, all of the Dawn of War orcs all had top knots, didn't they? I don't know if I vibe with that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and keep building these boys. I haven't looked. Are we getting any... There wouldn't be any activity on Twitch. The hair squigs. Yeah, I don't get that. They have the top knots, but they're not squigs. Or are they squigs and they're just very well hidden? This has to go somewhere. Does it fit on a choppa? Because if you can fit it on a choppa and you have a sight on your choppa, that's kind of hysterical. What was it? We were talking about the fact that every time I send you my wish list on a special occasion, you just tell me to buy what I want. And that takes away the surprise for me. So we determined that I'm going to give my wish list to Raincloud, and he's going to pick something off of it and tell you. That way I can still be surprised. He's been volunteered for it. He doesn't get a choice. Because Rushtiv got asked what he wants from his wish list. And that kind of brought it up. Well, I'm broke too. We have an excuse for being broke, though, because we make poor financial decisions on nerd stuff. No money for minis. Alright guys, you heard it. We're all gonna have to chip in and buy Raincloud a box of something. Randomly buy it later. Are you sure? It's not from the wish list I'm sending you. If we didn't have hobbies and lives, it would be so much simpler. It would be, but would it be as much fun? It's all about the balance of stress and fun. Alright. What am I doing? I need to build these bodies first. Titan, a Knight, Primarch. I don't want any of the Primarchs. I'll tell you that right now. Because I don't have any armies where the Primarch would be relevant. Now, if Perturabo ever got a model for 40k, then we'll talk. But that hasn't happened, and it likely never will. Yes, the balance. Wish list is large, but not expensive. My toys are expensive. We are good at balancing it. The sarcasm hits me in the heart. I consider myself a professional balancer. Or a professional at not being professional. That doesn't cancel itself out, right? I don't remember what you were supposed to talk to him about. A lot of conversations has happened since then. I hope it wasn't important. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't important. Could have had everything here by Friday if I'd ordered earlier. Gotta wait till Monday. Most of it has 1 day shipping. Oh, is it for Prime Day? I didn't even think about that. There's probably some deals on some of that stuff today. Not Warhammer stuff, though, because GW doesn't like selling their products at a discount. Oh, Prime Week. My bad. Oh, wait. Is this going to work with most hits? Probably get those out. Oh, Rushtiv also clipped my wah earlier. It was better than the last one. Just for the record. It's in the Share Your Stuff channel. Should I get any green stuff? I personally don't advocate for green stuff, but that's because I'm really bad at it. But you can try it. Interesting. How does that work? Fair. Also, I don't want to buy sculpting tools yet. I just found a deal on 3 feet of green stuff for $25. That is a deal. For sure. Okay, I'm gonna have to commit sacrilege and break that. It's too low and the head wasn't gonna fit. I should put the head on first. That would make more sense. Big brain. It's a lot of touching parts, but that's okay. Crap. Not enough lube. What? You know what? Let's just do a different arm. How would this one look? That one's not good either. Alright, this dude's gonna have to be a left-hander. Missed a spot on his leg. Also, Raincloud decided that I'm going to paint his Legion miniatures finally. Putting that out there. Probably won't do it on stream, but hobby supplies ordered. New light magnets, Tamiya, hand files. New hobby mat for $100. Thanks, Capital One Rewards. Woo, credit. What is going on here? Why are all of these hitting this head? If I turned it up, it probably would look better. That would probably be the wiser choice. And I can go back to the one I was doing. I still haven't bought any Tamiya yet. It's on the list. Helps me justify the purchase more. It's originally 165. Fair enough. These bombs aren't gonna hold at all if I keep messing with them like this. Bookshelf is looking empty in its prime week. Oh no. That means I can just buy more Warhammer to even things out, right? Hint, hinge. Nudge, nudge. Because I'm always looking to, you know, expand my Space Marines and my Chaos. Now my Orcs. Doesn't help that I have 4 Loyalists, 4 Chaos, and now 1 Xenos. I'm gonna go cry now. Because my wife just told me she didn't love me. And you have all of these witnesses here. What? It's true. You don't want me to get a war boss. You don't want me to get any Meganobs. You don't want me to get a Leviathan Dreadnought. I could always use more intercessors. Maybe some Dark Angels kits to kit batched with. Been saving the rewards for a while to go. Had to spend like 4K. Oof. Can't quite justify that. Granted, it would take me a while to spend 4K, considering my income. Ended up rewriting some stuff to fit events of the Crusade a bit better. Hopefully it will be ready to submit soon. Sweet. Which crusade are we talking? Are we talking like their crusade? It's the same. Slightly different. It's my first and only credit card. Also, that 4K is over the course of like 6 months. Yeah. That's a little more likely. Shorter escalation crusade. They played a part in the very start of 10th edition. Okay. Are you talking like an actual crusade game? Actual game of crusade. With the mirror slain, we're looking for more of the shards. Okay. I'm intrigued. I promise I won't. Well, I should probably screen these if I get more submissions before the 25th. But I don't want to get too invested until I read them in the moment. Do I listen to other stuff in my earbuds? Like right now? I am actively listening to music right now, and it's just going through my phone. It helps me focus a little bit. If you're wondering if I listen to the same track that you guys are listening to right now, I don't. I just have that for active ambience for the viewers. I am a notorious head bobber. Hate hearing my own voice, so I can't imagine listening to my own stream. It's not that I hate listening to my own voice, it's just the fact that I find it a lot easier to talk and converse when, like, at a normal frequency when I have something in. Stream music is burned into my brain. I'll hear it when it's super quiet at work. I have considered changing it up. I just haven't made it that far yet. Because it's only got like 4 tracks in it. Because I don't want people to get too burned out of it. Crap. Screwed myself there. Prefer that I post what I already had in the Discord, or wait to compile everything for the stream. I would go ahead and just wait until you have it all together. Wouldn't be opposed to more tracks. I will make a point of that this week to add more. I wish I could use like one of my playlists, but it's all copyrighted, so I can't do that. Dang it. Okay. See if I can commit some heresy here. There we go. Nice. It's a lot less painful than I expected. Okay. We have one more normal boy, and then we'll have the big Shuda boy. And then we'll go in and we'll add the rest of the accessories. Looked at the viewer count. Do we have any new people on stream? Any lurkers? How do people use copyrighted music in their videos? Also, there should be a lot of free music out there. I really don't care that much about the music. Also don't know how long it takes. For me, it takes a minute, because I have to basically create the track myself. But I just pull a bunch of tracks from the YouTube audio library that I think fit, and then I just put them all into one track. That's where I get pretty much all of my music, since I only put stuff. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why? I feel like a cat is the correct answer, because they live pretty much stress-free. To answer your question about people... Oh, wait, that's the wrong way. It's another right-hander. People using copyrighted music. Sometimes you can get away with it if you just get a copyright claim. It just means you can't get any money off of the content. And all that money goes towards whoever owns the song. Anything. Just want to fly. I mean, I'm thinking particularly of our cat. He's pretty stress-free most of the time, unless he thinks he's starving. Back on the music thing. I know a lot of game soundtracks are public domain because they are game tracks and they work slightly differently than actual music, like radio music. Now, I don't know all the details on that. Oh, dang it, my blade broke. Good thing I've got another one right here. Grab it without shanking myself. Like, I know for a fact, 100% fact, that you can use the Darktide soundtrack. Because I've seen painting streamers use it before. So I looked it up. You can also use the Space Marine 1 soundtrack. So I could use both of those. And I believe some of the Rogue Trader soundtrack. Copyright notices in video descriptions. Video giving credits to the authors. How does that work? It's messy. Usually they have to have like personal permission from the publisher or the artist. Darktide soundtrack is great. Any chance of Dawn of War? I'm not sure. I have the Dawn of War soundtrack on my personal playlist. I have my own 40K playlist that I listen to quite frequently. I've got Dawn of War. I've got Battlefleet Gothic. Chaos Gate. Obviously Darktide, Space Marine 1, Space Marine 2. And then just a bunch of other tracks I think sound cool. Dog needs a walk. We'll see you, Malidus. Thanks for joining us. See you next week, unless there's another stream between now and then. Bumping my camera. Yeah, it's just a lot of legal stuff that goes on between artists and publishers and content creators. Okay. And now I'm gonna have to get an Orcs Bits box. So we'll build this boy with the big shooter. Yeah, the YouTube audio library is your best place to find anything for free. Unless you want to subscribe to one of those royalty-free sites, but I don't have the money for that, so I just don't. Oddly enough, if you decide to stream to Twitch too, Twitch does not like the stuff in the YouTube audio library because only YouTube has permission to use that stuff. Which is kind of stupid, but I get it. So, when I'm streaming on Twitch right now, I have to mute the music. Which you can do in Streamlabs. I use Streamlabs. I used to use OBS until it decided to be a piece of crap and just not work. And it would crash all the time. And it actually crashed my PC a few times. And through a lot of research, I found a lot of people have had similar issues. So I switched over to Streamlabs. Streamlabs is a lot more user-friendly, but there are a lot less things that you can do with it. Like multi-streaming, you have to pay for. Unless you are doing the dual output, which is what I'm doing. So you can stream one in landscape and one in portrait. So I stream portrait to Twitch, which I think turns a lot of people off, which is why Twitch isn't really gaining a following. But that's kind of my option there. So OBS does have its perks, but Streamlabs is a lot more... it's a lot friendlier on your system. Because whenever you use dual output, it doesn't stream it. It doesn't stream two different outputs from your system. It streams it to the cloud, which then streams it to the two different platforms. YouTube or Twitch is better for content creators? I know you have your main following on YouTube, but not sure if you think one is better or not. So it's a lot easier to get viewers on YouTube. Like the algorithm pushes your stuff out to a lot more people. But it's a lot easier to make money on Twitch if you can get the viewership. It's kind of, you have to pick, do you want to make money or do you want to get viewers? It's just, that's kind of the balance. Because I'm more concerned about people seeing my content. I don't care about making money. I work a job. I make money. Not great money, but I make money. But I just want people to see what I create. And I think YouTube is a lot better of a platform for that. And I honestly think there are several other creators that share my opinion. I mean, I haven't talked to him about it, but Adeptus Artifactus, he does everything on YouTube. I don't think he has a Twitch channel. And, I mean, Twitch is a good follow-up if you already have a following somewhere else, too. So if you build a good following on YouTube and you're monetized and all that, if you want to stream to Twitch, then a lot of your following will go up there for some reason. I don't really understand that part of it. I don't know. I'm full of a lot of pointless information. You like as I'm trying to explore the option for streaming. I would pick YouTube. I also think that YouTube has a lot more of their stuff figured out than Twitch does. Because a lot of the time it seems like Twitch is just making a mess of things. Just from what I see of the community and people who watch Twitch, I think Twitch is a little more toxic. Not saying that YouTube can't be toxic at times, but I think there's more of a concentration of it on Twitch. Again, this is just from what I've observed. I could be totally off. It's really just a matter of perspective. And that's my perspective. Okay, I think we're ready to add the decorations on these guys. This cool stuff. Put these bits off somewhere. Any container for it. Dig for that at some point. Thought I had another little jewelry case. See where we can put this site. Oh, the other shells can go on that side. I'll do that in just a sec. I've noticed that. I'm not sure why. It's odd. Slightly expected. I was gonna get these bits on and then I was gonna wrap up. Something real quick. Well, we are experiencing some slower internet. I'm not aware of anything downloading. See if it can resolve itself. Let's see. Well, the stream may or may not be ending without me. Yeah, that's super weird. But I also have crappy internet. So it's a little expected at moments. Well, that might be it for tonight.